Life, if well lived, is long enough. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Love, in its essence, is spiritual fire. Enjoy present pleasures in such a way as not to injure future ones. Man is affected not by events, but by the view he takes of them. How does it help to make troubles heavier by bemoaning them? Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. Time heals what reason cannot. Let us say what we feel and feel what we say. Let speech harmonize with life. The greatest blessings of mankind are within us and within our reach. A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he has not. It is not that we have so little time, but that we lose so much. The life we receive is not short, but we make it so. Remember that pain has this most excellent quality. If prolonged, it cannot be severe. And if severe, it cannot be prolonged. Begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life. As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters. Sometimes even to live is an act of courage. Life is like a play. It's not the length, but the excellence of the acting that matters. While we wait for life, life passes. We are always complaining that our days are few, and acting as though there would be no end of them. Every night before going to sleep, we must ask ourselves, what weakness did I overcome today? What virtue did I acquire? True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. Not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have, which is sufficient. For he that is so wants nothing. Fight to be the person philosophy tried to make you. Revere the gods. Watch over human beings. Our lives are short. The only rewards of our existence here are an unstained character and unselfish acts. Mastery of reading and writing requires a master. Still more, so life. People who labor all their lives but have no purpose to direct every thought and impulse toward are wasting their time, even when hard at work. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of? If I'm going to do what I was born for, the things I was brought into the world to do, or is this what I was created for? To huddle under the blankets and stay warm. You don't love yourself enough. Or you love your nature too, and what it demands of you. People who love what they do wear themselves down doing it. They even forget to wash or eat. It can ruin your life only if it ruins your character. Otherwise, it cannot harm you, inside or out. Perfection of character, to live your last day, every day, without frenzy or sloth or pretense. The things you think about determine the quality of your mind. Your soul takes on the color of your thoughts. The mind without passions is a fortress. No place is more secure. Once we take refuge there, we are safe forever. Not to see this is ignorance. To see it and not seek safety means misery. That things have no hold on the soul. They stand there unmoving, outside it. Disturbance comes only from within, from our own perceptions. Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been. Objective judgment, now, at this very moment. Unselfish action, now, at this very moment. Willing acceptance, now, at this very moment, of all external events. That's all you need. I can control my thoughts as necessary. Then how can I be troubled? What is outside my mind means nothing to it. Absorb that lesson and your feet stand firm. You can return to life. Look at things as you did before, and life returns. External things are not the problem. It's your assessment of them, which you can erase right now. Your three components, body, breath, mind, two are yours in trust. To the third alone, you have clear title. To move from one unselfish action to another with God in mind, only there, delight in stillness. For every action, ask, how does it affect me? Could I change my mind about it? But soon I'll be dead, and the slate's empty. So is this the only question? Is it the action of a responsible being, part of society, and subject to the same decrees as God? Fate is the endless chain of causation, whereby things are. The reason or formula by which the world goes on. If, melodiously, piping flutes sprang from the olive, will you doubt that a knowledge of flute playing resided in the olive? And what if plane trees bore harps which gave forth rhythmical sounds? Clearly, you would think in the same way that the art of music was possessed by plane trees. Why then, seeing that the universe gives birth to beings that are animate and wise, should it not be considered animate and wise in itself? Well-being is attained by little and little, and nevertheless is no little thing itself. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should listen more than we say. No evil is honorable, but death is honorable. Therefore, death is not evil. All things are parts of one single system, which is called nature. The individual life is good when it is in harmony with nature. Still your sensibilities, so that life shall hurt you as little as possible. No matter whether you claim a slave by purchase or capture, the title is bad. They who claim to own their fellow men look down into the pit and forget the justice that should rule the world. Happiness is a good flow of life. A bad feeling is a commotion of the mind, repugnant to reason and against nature. The end may be defined as life in accordance with nature, or, in other words, in accordance with our own human nature, as well as that of the universe. All the good are friends of one another. Man conquers the world by conquering himself. When a dog is tied to a cart, if it wants to follow, it is pulled and follows, making its spontaneous act coincide with necessity. But if the dog does not follow, it will be compelled in any case. So it is with men too. Even if they don't want to, they will be compelled to follow what is destined. A friend is our alter ego. Nothing is more hostile to a firm grasp on knowledge than self-deception. He would stretch his arm out in from of his and show his open palm. and he would point to his hand and say, "This is perception." Then he would slightly close his fingers, just a little bit. So now he looks like Zeno with arthritis. And he points to his hand now and says, "This is assent." You know, agreement or belief in something. Then he closes his fist tight and points to it and says, "This is comprehension." Then he takes his other hand and grabs his fist, holding it closed, and says, "This is knowledge." The things you think about determine the quality of your mind. Your soul takes on the color of your thoughts. He does only what is his to do, and considers constantly what the world has in store for him, doing his best and trusting that all is for the best. For we carry our fate with us, and it carries us. To love only what happens, what was destined, no greater harmony. To watch the courses of the stars as if you revolved with them. To keep constantly in mind how the elements alter into one another. Thoughts like this wash off the mud of life below. No one can keep you from living as your nature requires. Nothing can happen to you that is not required by nature. Doctors keep their scalpels and other instruments handy for emergencies. Keep your philosophy ready too. Ready to understand heaven and earth. In everything you do, even the smallest thing. Remember the chain that links them. Nothing earthly succeeds by ignoring heaven. Nothing heavenly by ignoring the earth. People try to get away from it all, to the country, to the beach, to the mountains. You always wish that you could too, which is idiotic. You can get away from it at any time you like by going within. Nowhere you can go is more peaceful, more free of interruptions than your own soul. What injures the hive injures the bee. Whatever happens to you is for the good of the world. That would be enough right there. But if you look closely, you'll generally notice something else as well. Whatever happens to a single person is for the good of others. In short, know this. Human lives are brief and trivial. Yesterday, a blob of semen. Tomorrow, embalming fluid. Ash. Indifference to external events and a commitment to justice in your own acts. Which means thought and action resulting in the common good, what you were born to do. When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, The people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they can't tell good from evil. But I have seen the beauty of good and the ugliness of evil, and have recognized that the wrongdoer has a nature related to my own. Not of the same blood or birth, but the same mind, and possessing a share of the divine. Be free from grief, not through insensibility like the irrational animals, nor through want of thought like the foolish, but like a man of virtue, by having reason as the consolation of grief. You are but an appearance, and not absolutely the thing you appear to be. Remember that you ought to behave in life as you would at a banquet. Other people's views and troubles can be contagious. Don't sabotage yourself by unwittingly adopting negative, unproductive attitudes through your associations with others. Some things are in our control, and others not. With every accident, ask yourself what abilities you have for making a proper use of it. Circumstances don't make the man. They only reveal him to himself. Let no man think that he is loved by any who loveth none. Keep your attention focused entirely on what is truly your own concern. And be clear that what belongs to others is their business and none of yours. You are a little soul carrying a corpse. Most of what passes for legitimate entertainment is inferior or foolish and only caters to or exploits people's weaknesses. Death is nothing terrible, else it would have appeared so to Socrates. But the terror consists in our notion of death, that it is terrible. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. No man is free who is not master of himself. What is the first business of one who practices philosophy? To get rid of self-conceit. For it is impossible for anyone to begin to learn that which he thinks he already knows. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. since it is reason which shapes and regulates all other things. It ought not itself to be left in disorder. We should not have either a blunt knife or a freedom of speech which is ill managed. Demand not that things happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do, and you will go on well. You can be invincible if you enter into no contest in which it is not in your power to conquer. Reason is not measured by size or height, but by principle. Who are those people by whom you wish to be admired? Are they not these whom you are in the habit of saying that they are mad? What then? Do you wish to be admired by the mad?